Hey guys, it's me, Nikki, and welcome to my YouTube channel. Welcome to my lashes. I'm so happy anyway. Thank you for watching my video. I didn't expect it to blow out that much. I don't know what to say. You guys are the best. Today I'm gonna discuss about 10 common mistakes that junior programmers do. And together with me is my last piece of green tea because I forgot to buy. Let's start. First common mistake that junior programmers do is not subscribing to my YouTube channel. Of course, you should subscribe now because I'm gonna tell you golden tips and tricks, just telling you through my experience. And I don't want you to go through the same mistakes that I made. So, straight to the topic now. When I got my first job as a software engineer, I was so excited. Who wouldn't be? Especially when I received my first project. I was tasked to create a login page. So when I finished it, since I wasn't well immersed with Git just yet, we didn't have Git in college. I studied computer engineering, so we were mostly focused on the hardware, low-level programming, assembly, C, those kind of stuffs, low-level hardware. So I didn't know Git just yet. I know a few simple commands like push, but to really understand it, I don't know Git. So my manager asked me to create a separate repo so I don't mess up the existing one, and then that's where I'm gonna push it. But I made a mistake. I pushed the environment key to the separate repo. So I was so afraid because the senior manager pinged me right away. He said, "Why did you create a separate repo? And why did you expose this?" I was in a hot seat. I thought that was going to become my first and last job. That was terrifying. Environment files often contain sensitive data like API keys, database credentials, so you need to always add your .env to your Git Ignore file. Which leads us to number 2. It's a rule to live by. Don't ignore Git Ignore. Oh my gosh, the effects. That was funny. Anyway, before pushing your code, make sure that Git Ignore is correctly set up. Unlike my lashes, you need to exclude your build files, environment variables, node modules, IDE configs, etc. You need to put it in your Git Ignore. We don't just write code, we build stuff. Okay, so you don't just write random code in there. You need to understand what you're doing. If you're given a task, you need to confirm, you need to clarify it to your manager, because as much as you think you already understood your task, you might have a different interpretation to it. So you need to consult to your QA, bridge engineer, or your project manager, or simply your senior dev, or to the client if you can talk to them directly. Because every code that you write is a liability. So as much as possible, we want to write easily maintainable code. So that's why we need to understand what we're building and why. I remember back then I said to myself, I want a programming job because I don't want to talk to people. I hate talking to people. I hate dealing with people's, emotions. But I realized we're working with people. It's just our job. Even though we work all day in front of a screen, at the end of the day, we're working for someone, and we have workmates. So if you're stuck, say something. Keeping quiet when you don't understand something leads to bigger mistakes. So please ask or clarify when you have doubts. Everyone in the team will appreciate it if you trust them enough to ask your question. It was my mistake also. You know, I initially started as a web dev, so when I transitioned to mobile, I didn't know how to use dev tools. I didn't know how to use debugger. I forgot how to use one. Even if I used to use a debugger when I was programming in C back in college, but it's different at work. I was using VS Code. So every time I was coding, I would run, like Flutter run instead of using the debugger. I didn't know how to add breakpoints, so I was stuck in a hell of debug print, or in JavaScript it's console log. There are other ways to debug without having to console log every time, because it's very messy. It gets very messy and it gets really hard to clean up. We don't want to have those debug prints in the production. Number 6, don't hard code values everywhere. Like name equals Elsa, email equals elsa@gmail.com. Hard coded stuff, it's not maintainable in the long run. So you need to create a separate file where you add those keys, URL settings. It makes your app easier to update, reuse, and scale up. And also another thing, when writing names, you don't need to write like Elsa. When you stump on fake names, fake emails, fake address, just for testing purposes, you can use faker.js. Learn how to use Git, GitHub, Bitbucket. You need to learn it. I want to recommend a site where you can practice it. I want you to challenge yourself to solve these problems. It's going to help you in the long run. And also the Git documentation by Atlassian. It's simplified for you. You can check it out. Read the documentation, whether it's the framework, a library, or even the API you are using. Read the documentation first. It will save hours of trial and error. Poorly named files, variables, and functions make your code unreadable even for you in a week. So stick to consistent and meaningful naming. For example, you're gonna write a variable named D. What is D for? So you write date. Okay, so you make it readable. Code gets really messy because of bad naming. It's going to take a lot of time just to clean it all up. So, number 9, don't ignore naming conventions. Use clear, descriptive commit messages and avoid committing debug code like console log, debug prints, or half-baked changes unless the commit explains it well. For now, that's just the 10 most common mistakes. Thank you again for watching my video, and see you again next time.